Welcome everybody to the 7th seal of the MahaKaruna Dharani class. Om Vajrabhadra Humpa. Om Vajrabhadra Humpa. Om Vajrabhadra Humpa. Om Jalarora Manaira Humpa. Om Jalarora Manaira Humpa. Om Jalarora Manaira Humpa. Om Jala Jala Vajra Humpa. Om Jala Jala Vajra Humpa. Om Jala Jala Vajra Humpa. Om Dasa Daja Duvini Dudevataya Humpa. Om Dasa Daja Duvini Dudevataya Humpa. Om Dasa Daja Duvini Dudevataya Humpa. Blank. I knew them like 7 minutes ago. Oh yeah, this is, I always forget that one. Om Naba Naba Napaya Mahasrija Swaha. Om Naba Naba Napaya Mahasrija Swaha. Om Naba Naba Napaya Mahasrija Swaha. Om Vajrazana Pranapadaya Swaha. Om Vajrazana Pranapadaya Swaha. Om Vajrazana Pranapadaya Swaha. Just a little review while we're getting back into the bath. Okay, the next one, number 7. This is my left hand. We started at first seal with the pearl, then to the bowl, then to the happy rabbit. The weird names I'm going to give mantras. In 1,000 years, oh, great Master Maha called the happy rabbit for this and that esoteric reason. No, look, it looks like a rabbit. Maybe for you it looks like a cow, I don't know. And from there, we reopen like a bowl. It's very simple. Okay. The 7th seal of this series is the one that I've practiced a lot, which got me through, again, many of the mistakes of that seal. Okay? Be the Vajra. Behave like the Vajra. The mantra is Om Vajranaya Humpat. After 2 mantras ending with Swaha, we go back to the Humpat, the trap of the power trip. Humpat is not blow your brains out, subjugate. It's feel in an unshakable way. It's through determination and not through a violent effort that you're Beta Vajra. Then, Vajranaya. Vajra is Vajra. That simple, complex, paradoxal state. Naya is behavior, way of being, path. Om Vajranaya Hum Pat. Behave like the Vajra. Now, thanks to the previous seal, Vajrazana, we learned that the Vajra is relaxed, calm. Okay? It's going to be useful. I need to give an example of what is a power trip, because no one on a power trip know that they're on a power trip. Huh? Of course. it's easy to see someone else on a power trip. But it's not, we call it a power trip, but it's not just a quest for power. It is a delusion of grandeur. Remember when you were younger than you are now, whatever age you are. You had an idea. Oh, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do that. A plan for a business, a way to court a man or a lady, an idea on how you to please a friend or a partner, a book that you will write that will change the world, an idea for a new invention. You had, at one moment, a great rush of excitement after having the idea of the century. Okay? And it didn't work out, of course, because the world is still what it is. Remember the feeling when you had one of those great moments of clarity and certainty, the aspect that the entire world will love that. Everyone will want some. Do you remember that feeling? And then the world did not want some. It was in your head, you know. That's a power trip. You get all excited about an idea. Someone that I care about this week, someone that is profoundly spiritual, but also profoundly suffering, was convinced that he was ready to be ordained an acharya. This guy is pretty far from being ordained an acharya. And he was very passionate about it. And his text was beautiful. The way he wrote about it was fantastic. And everybody will accept me if I am like that. But the truth is, a drunk, broken man is a drunk, broken man and cannot be ordained as acharya. It's very simple. There was a lot of beautiful things in how he was. But he made himself a delusion. Okay? So that brought me the idea. I'll look at myself. I'll remember in the past I had delusions. I'm going to do this and that, and the world will love it. And in the back, there was a feeling in my subconscious, and the world will finally accept me. Do you remember that feeling? Because I had that feeling when I was, a new adult in my 20s. And I was going to change the world. The world is finally going to accept me. Taste that root in the ego, the loneliness, the need of validation to be accepted. That's behind a power trip. And it's not just I want power. This is still the same kind of thing. But it's not just I want power. It's an illusion where the entire universe revolves around us. Just a little me. Like, I just had an idea. This is revolution. Stop the presses. Stop filming your films. You have to listen to that. And you speak like if you were more important than any other being in the world, because they should stop what they're doing to listen to me. Do you understand that? You have lived these moments somewhere when you had a wonderful idea. Eventually, I did change something in the world. But it didn't happen while I was in a delusion. And it did not happen when it was about me and they should listen. It is through a constant, focused work, determination, that I have affected the world. And the focus was not for me to get something out of it, but for the world to get something out of it. In my mind, I achieved that kind of success when I was not wanting something out of it. And then I worked. And then, yes, I did change something in the world. When I was 17, I needed a bit of help from a psychologist. So my parents told me, because of the violence I faced with my brother. Just a little violence, but, enough to concern the parents. It was not a big deal for me. Just hurt a bit. My emotions and the body. The psychologist secretly was some kind of clairvoyant. After our first session, he said, "You do not need the help of a psychologist, but please come back to see me every week because it's fun. Just come see me again." So the next week, I went again. We talk of profound things. And then he told me at the second session, "You're going to create a new way of a new approach to psychology that will revolutionize the world of personal growth in the entire world." He told me that. I was 17. It's like, dude, I see what you're doing there. You're trying to encourage me and, feeling better, but, bullshitting me about, you gotta do something great. So what, you're trying to raise my confidence? I'm okay with confidence. I'm insecure and confident at the same time. And he replied, "No, you're going to create a new psychology, a new method of personal growth that will revolutionize the world in the future." I said, all right. Now he has a delusion. or, I did not know what kind of trick he was trying to say. And, 15 years later, it started. Created an emotional integration, and other people started to teach it. Now more than a million people know about that method. That's freaking awesome. But it did not happen while I was hoping to get something out of it. It happened while my mind was focused on acting with virtue, really for the benefit of the the world, all beings, all humans in this case specifically. I was not thinking about little animals. The humans, if they get better, everything gets better. A passage in the Tao Te Ching, which is also my favorite. The heavens and the earth are eternal because they do not exist for themselves. The Taoists teach this secret to immortality, that the more your feeling of importance goes inside, the shorter you live. The more the feeling of importance spreads outside, the longer you live. Then, later on, I spoke of personal growth to a lady who sold Mary Kay products. Okay, could have been anything, but she sold that. And we were talking about marketing and how it works. Pyramidal schemes and stuff. I don't like those. She told me a super cool trick. She said, when you talk to people, you have to imagine everyone has a board around their neck that says, "Make me feel important." That was a sales trick for them. Make me feel important. You have to know how to make this feeling in someone else. And I figured, wow, imagine if you're not trying to sell a product, but you're really trying to care. Imagine everyone has a board written around their neck that says, "Make me feel important." And then you think the importance has to go outside of me, towards the other. That is how you break delusions. Delusions are about us. My delusions are about me. Make others feel important. And you will see in your ego, self-importance will rise. Hey, what about me? Since when don't you try to make me feel important? Om Vajranaya Hum Pat. Very simple trap. If you just think, I behave like the Vajra with certainty, intensely, in a subjugating way, because of the typical misunderstanding of the Vajra, you're gonna walk, I'm the Vajra, hard as a diamond, powerful as a lightning, and you're going to mess up your Vajra experience. We have learned in the previous seal, Vajrasana, calm state of being, Vajra. It is not a hard diamond that breaks others. It is me that is not shaken by the drama of others. It is not a lightning that kills a tree with fire. It is a symbol of impermanence, of letting go of structures, of detachment. Yes, the lightning can destroy a tree if it hits it. The tree is a symbol of a structure. Okay? Those who studied the Nagas, you remember Takshaka, the carpenter, the birth of structures in this universe. The lightning relieves you of those hard structures. The Vajra is a paradoxal state. In the book, let's see how I wrote it. It's about courage, right? So, page 28. For eliminating all fears in any situation. That's a delusion, eliminating all fears. The Chinese wrote that as a benefit. Because when you are in the Vajra state, your diamond composition makes you discredit drama. Shivagam told me in a conversation, when I told him, regardless of his wisdom and power, he probably would not become the next Mahacharya of the Majriya. I mean, everyone can change, but and I said it's because of his attitude in front of a conflict. He is scared of conflicts to a point that he steps back. Not minor conflicts with students, but bigger conflicts. He has grown since then. But he told me, yes, Maha, I have seen you when there is a conflict, when you are insecure, when shit could happen because of your actions or your decisions. You face forward and you go, regardless. That is a Vajra state. Something could hurt, but what is wise is to act, so you act. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is to act while there is fear. It would not be courage if there would be no fear. Courage exists specifically because there is also fear. The courage is not to be paralyzed, not to be affected or limited by those fears. So today we're talking about various aspects of the Vajra state. Oh, it is powerful, but it's not a power trip. Because the focus is not what I gain from it. It is how my soul can spread in this world for the benefit of all beings. All beings includes me. It's not for the benefit of others, excluding me. It's for the benefit of all beings. Of course, we also benefit from the beauty of these actions. This week, I spoke to someone about the beauty of Kamarutadva. A mistake of Kamarutadva is to think that my desires are satisfied. And if I can't, I let them go. That's a misunderstanding. Vishnu, in his global perspective, will take the desires of every possible person and make them flow together in a way to reach maximum satisfaction for a maximum of people, which includes you and the others, so that everyone can experience satisfaction, so that everyone can experience the morning of what is impossible in the settings of nature. Kamarutattva is not my satisfaction. It is the flow of satisfaction in all universal components. As Vishnu plays chess with karmas and dharmas, limited by the praktis, by the structures of this world, so that in equity throughout every being, a maximum possible satisfaction can happen, and a maximum amount of liberation of unaccomplished desires can happen. This global perspective, it's not about me. It's a city of Vishnu, of Krishna. Okay? That is a good example of a Vajra state. It is universal. It's not limited to me. From all these examples, I hope you understand more the state of Vajra. Okay? It's the state of self-mastery. Imagine yourself being a Buddha, absorbed in Buddhahood, mourning anything you cannot have, and rejoicing of everything that is happening, undisturbed by drama. Focus on what is beneficial for all beings. Because even after achieving Buddhahood, we are humans. We go up and down. It's normal. I had stress this week, and I was saying, I have such a beautiful week regardless of the problems that are just things to manage. It's fun and scary, but fun. Oh, I look like Zeus with the bird, with the beard. Well, thank you. You're the second person to tell me that this week, so I'll take it as a compliment. I was also said that I have Pantene hair, you know, like the, Pantene, from the advertising. More than once, which is funny, that I have Pantene hair or that I look like Zoo, depending on the, oh yeah. What do they say I'm holding with this? What tool do they say? I remember the mudra, but I don't remember what. Are you supposed to imagine those who want to imagine things? Because I don't really. It's the fearless giving. The mudra is the fearless giving. Without fear, and it's for others. Cool name. I'm going to keep this one. You just give to others. Left hand. Okay. Before we do this mala, go back 2 steps. El conejo feliz. Oh, in Spanish, it can have another connotation. Sorry. The Happy Bunny is really about Easter and chocolates in English. Okay. Om Naba Naba Napaya Mahasrija Swaha. Om Naba Naba Napaya Mahasrija Swaha. Om Naba Naba Napaya Mahasrija Swaha. Om Vajrazana Pranapadaya Swaha. Om Vajrazana Pranapadaya Swaha. Om Vajrazana Pranapadaya Swaha. 3 times with the hand. Om Vajranaya Humpa. Om Vajranaya Humpa. Om Vajranaya Humpa. Mala in the right hand. Mudra in the left hand. At a correct speed. Om Vajranaya Humpat. 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 Vajranaya Humpat. Om 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 Vajranaya Humpat. Continue. Om Vajranaya Humpat. 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 Naya Humpat. Om Vajranaya Humpat. Om Vajranaya Humpat. A simple anecdote as we finish this class. When I started the lessons of the Avatar, and I would still call myself a Mahasattva because I was just beginning the transformation into Avatar. And they were intense, of course. And I've learned from them. Like any step, we imagine the Buddha as someone who never will have a problem again. That's not the case. It's about the lessons and not the title. And of course, a Buddha has an experience of life and a perception way beyond, someone who is simply enlightened. So there was something left for me to accept, to publicly say, okay, I'm an avatar. It was the dream of who is an avatar, according to the legends of Jesus and Krishna. But I was always confused with some masters called avatar that I could actually acknowledge as avatar. Shirdi Baba is one of them, for example. Extremely powerful, but taking medicine because of the sickness of his old age. And sometimes a bit disappointed and angry at people's reactions, but very temporary. He would still help them or care for them. And I heard myself say last week or the week before, I think it was last week, that was what my purpose, to say he's an avatar, but Shivagan, I just used an example because I was teaching something else. Saying that he has been weak and tired. Well, he's doing better now, but he's been very weak. I said, okay, have someone call me God and not a student in adoration. Have someone call me God just out of nowhere and always out of context. And someone this week called me Zeus. And I say, one is a coincidence that the next day in class, not in adoration for the wisdom, but a superficial comment, hey, you look like Zeus with that beard. All right, two is what I say. Okay, call me God, and the condition is out of nowhere, not by adoration, but just like funny and cool. And here you go. For me to accept, to say, okay, I am in the stage of the avatar. But I had to free myself from my own delusion. I had that dream. Once I'm an avatar, I'm all going to be powerful. And yeah, my manifestation power is so on point. It's extraordinary. But afraid of little situation. Stressed. Disturbed. A bit of back pain after a walk of 45 minutes. You see, I still had that delusion of grandeur. An avatar is this magnificent being of ultimate power because I dreamed. Oh, I still held to that childish dream of being an X-Man. Someone who flies and have, like this extraordinary power and can kill with a look and raise them back to life. Like, Krishna did that once, and it's like if he could do it forever. So even then, it's just another set of lessons and a perspective of life. And I assure you, oh my God, it is extraordinary, the feeling. I could not have been an avatar if I had power. But I can see it now as Vishnu emancipated in all things. I understand the avatar experience because it's not about me. It is such a beautiful realization. It is not the recognition of myself as God. It is a recognition of God as all things. Has nothing to do with me, but I'm one of those things. I'm just one other pebble in the pocket. It's just another grain on the beach. This is what I discovered from being an avatar. There is no feeling of greatness as an avatar. At least it's not my greatness. It's undistinct, detached greatness with no object of greatness by itself. It's absolutely fantastic. It is not about me. It is a liberation from egocentrism. And yesterday I had a moment of egocentrism and someone told me, I said, you're right. I have to find something about me or else I'm not going to grow from it. And I did integration. 4th level integration, divine level integration. Because I had self-importance. And it was beautiful. I hope to always inspire you humility like this. It is never about us. It's always about the whole. And look at your drama, how personal it is, right? And how much you have to mourn what you will not get to liberate yourself from the terrible drama. Maybe it is a terrible dharma. All right, peace, guys. Thank you. Serious.